French military task force with a name that sounds like a celebration, Champagne, is wrapping up a high-stakes mission. And this isn't a party. The task force has been training a new brigade of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers armed with heavy weaponry from France to face Russia's relentless push in the east. Now, with Russian forces advancing and international politics in flux, these troops are heading back to the front lines at a critical moment. So how ready are they for the fight ahead? Find out what this new force brings to the battlefield in this report.
A French military task force, codenamed Champagne, has been working on a mission that's no celebration. Their job entails training thousands of Ukrainian soldiers for the next phase of the war. Armed with French-supplied tanks, artillery and advanced weaponry, these troops are ready to head back to the front lines. After 2 months of intense training, they have learned to storm trenches and handle convoluted battle scenarios. Over 2,000 soldiers have been trained in France with an arsenal that includes Caesar artillery and armored carriers. With drones in the sky and artillery in hand, they are now prepared for what awaits on Ukrainian front lines. French officers say that the brigade is ready to fight and maneuver effectively with its new skills and equipments. The stakes are higher than ever, with Russian forces pushing west in the quest for Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. And with fresh reinforcement on the Russian side, the pressure on Ukraine grows. But as the Anne of Kyiv brigade prepares to return, will it tip the balance on the battlefield? The fight continues and the world is watching.
And viewers, the Israeli Defense Forces launched a dozen of intense airstrikes on southern Lebanon capital Beirut. The airstrike hit more buildings and set off explosions in the Danieh region as well. Meanwhile, Iran has expressed its support for any decision made by Lebanon in its efforts to secure a ceasefire with Israel. Watch our report.
The Israeli military kept up its heavy bombardment of a once densely populated area adjoining Beirut on Friday. The airstrikes on the Danieh in the Lebanese capital, where the terrorist group Hezbollah holds sway. Visuals from the strike captures a falling projectile slamming into a building, which erupts in a huge fireball, causing the structure to collapse. Just after the dawn, the Israeli military issued fresh evacuation warnings, and the bombardment began soon afterward. Meanwhile, Iranian top advisor visited Lebanon for talks. Iran has expressed support for any decision made by Lebanon in its efforts to secure a ceasefire with Israel.
مخصوصاً در شرایط فعلی که شرایط سختی رژیم صهیونیستی برای ملت لبنان ایجاد شده.
An Iranian official said that he hoped circumstances would soon improve in Lebanon so that displaced people could return home.
ما دنبال برهم زدن چیزی نیستیم.
نحن لا نسعى وراء نسف أي شيء.
ما دنبال حل مسائل هستیم.
بل نحن نريد حل المشكلة.
ما در همه شرایط پشتیبان ملت لبنان هستیم.
وفي كل الظروف نحن واقفين إلى جانب لبنان.
اونهایی که به هم میزنن نتانیاهو و بغداد و دسته او است.
According to Lebanon's media, it was reported that the US ambassador to Lebanon has handed over a draft of proposed deal to end the Israel-Hezbollah war. Trump, who officially assumes office in January next year, continues to signal his willingness to support a ceasefire. However, the final responsibility for the negotiations remains with the current administration.